Okay. So first of all, let us see what we are going to build today. So this is the project that we are going to build today. It's a platform called as NA10. I will speak about it a little bit later. But what is going to happen, that what we are going to do here is that we have some PDFs. So for example, if I show you, I have this PDF. Okay. I have another PDF about incorrect facts. For example, Earth is shaped like a perfect cube. Human bones are made of entirely wood, and Eiffel Tower was originally built in New York. Like this is an incorrect PDF. And then also I have another PDF which contains there is a company Noventra Technologies Private Limited, and its information is stored in this PDF. So what this chatbot is going to do is, because these all information, if you see, these are not. So first of all, this is incorrect information which you are having. This information is some hypothetical company that I have created. You will not find it anywhere. And this is specific to a research paper. There are a lot of specific details, right? Now, point is, the chatbot that we are going to create is going to answer from these PDFs. So basically, we will find a way how we can use the memory of these, and we can chat with these PDFs. Okay, instead of and we are not going to do any coding today. So it is a purely drag and drop tool, which is a very, very efficient tool these days for automation. So for example, let me show you what is going to happen. So like this will be so this is the flow. We'll be creating two flows here. So I'll speak about it. What are we going to do? For example, let us say I speak about this. For example, let's say I ask this question: the Eiffel Tower, where was Eiffel Tower built, right? So let me ask this question: where was Eiffel Tower built as per the document, right? And if I ask this question, this chatbot is going to fetch the information. You see, it is going to fetch the information, and according to the document, it was built in New York and was later shipped to the Paris, which is an incorrect information. We all know that Eiffel Tower was not built in Paris, for New York. It is built in Paris, right? But I am answering based on my document. For example, let us say I talk about this company. This is a company, Noventra Technologies, and I ask, for example, what are the core products of Noventra Technologies? So suppose I go to the chatbot, I ask this: what are the core products of Noventra Technologies? Okay. So again, there is no companies like this. For example, if I if I go to this, let's say I ask the same question in a different chatbot. Let's say I ask in a this Claude, right? If I'm going to ask the same question in Claude, it is going to give me, let's see what it gives. It gives me answer. So it will search the web. It does not has any information about it, because such company does not exist actually. So even if it exists, it will find maybe some incorrect information. Yeah, so it is giving me some different information. But the product information that I am having is different. If you see, right? FlowMind, DocuGame. Now, if I ask the same question in my this chatbot, it will answer me based on my PDF. So see, it is going to answer. Yeah, so it is going to answer me based on my document. Similarly, if I ask the question from here, let us say, this is a question on encoder. For example, an encoder is composed of 6 identical layers. Suppose I ask this question that uh, an encoder is made up of how many layers? Okay, suppose I ask this. So what should happen? It will basically, yeah, input can be in tabular form, right? You see the answer: an encoder composed of 6 identical layers. So it is actually fetching the answer from this document. So just to tell you, this is what we are going to do today. We're going to build this particular project. Will be by so this basically, this is a drag and drop tool which I will show you. And It's a agent, AI agent, basically having RAG, and it is reading answer from those documents. Okay, so this is what we are going to build today. Any question, anyone? I will, in next 10-15 minutes, I will explain what is RAG, and then we will uh, uh, and after that we will simply move forward with creating the chatbot. Any question, anyone? Okay, so okay, so yes, sure. So my name is Satvik. I am so me and Shagun, we are two people are who founded the data science community. I'm working in US as an AI engineer, and Shagun, my partner, is working in India. He's working at Google as a BI analyst. So the data science is a like approximately 1.5 years long community. So we keep organizing sessions, sometimes courses and different things. So that's about you. I will about us. I'll share my LinkedIn as well after class if you want. I'm going to use OpenAI key, but you can use free as well. I'm going to use paid ones, but I'll tell you, you can use free ones as well. It's mandatory to use the paid ones. Okay. So first of all, let's discuss what is RAG. Okay. Uh, uh, so I'm just going to create a diagram, basically walk you through what is the RAG. Again, I'm not going to go in much detail. Just yeah, sessions recording will be given. Don't worry. So so what I'm going to do is, yeah. So first of all, let's think this way, right? We all use ChatGPT. Now, can ChatGPT answer all our questions? What do you think? What type of questions it cannot answer?
The one which are like I can say one which are added in terms of data after its training is done.
Yeah, that is true. So basically, every ChatGPT model that you see, right? Every model has a cutoff date. Okay. For example, let us say you create a particular model, you create let me So suppose you create a model, let's say you have created a GPT-4 model is there, right? A GPT-4 model, suppose it has a cutoff date of January 2025. Okay. Now, any information which comes after January 25, for example, any information, maybe any live temperature, any news which happened recently, or for example, if you ask who won the IPL this year, right, it will not be able to answer directly. So there are first is like any live information ChatGPT cannot answer. Of course, you go to ChatGPT, it answers. So there is a mechanism through which it answers, right? So live answers it cannot give. Second, it cannot give answers to your private information. For example, suppose ChatGPT it does not has access to your I would say bank statements, your personal chats, right? Suppose you want to ask ChatGPT how much money did I spend today, it cannot answer that, right? Because it does not have that context. So these are the two information that any where GPT models where or any LLM basically stuck is that they have a cutoff date, and if there is any external information or knowledge base present, that those things it cannot answer, right? So there comes the concept of using RAG and tools. Today we are talking about RAG. So RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. So what happens that suppose there is a GPT model, right? You will pass a document to it, okay, and based on that document it will be giving you an answer. Okay, now I'm not going too much into detail because I have to cover the main session as well, but let's see how it is going to how GPT is going to answer through this document. Because so tell me, what if I take this document, I pass completely to the chat GPT and ask that, okay, answer me based on this document? What is that the right approach? Yes or no?
No, it will do an in-memory processing, and once it hits the context length, it will go out of its context.
Exactly. So you cannot pass a document. For example, okay, you can pass a document of 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, right? But you cannot pass a document of 100 page, 500 page, everything together. Just think like you, for example, I'm doing a session of 1 hour. You will be able to understand. But if I do a session of 10 hours, right, you will not be able to understand. So that's how you cannot just keep on flooding a lot of information and assume that model can understand. So what is a better approach? So a better approach is that what you do, you take a model. So first of all, let us say a document comes to you. You see a document. Let's say this is a PDF document. Now you cannot. What you cannot do is you cannot pass this as a whole. So what will you do? You basically split this documents into small parts. For example, take this example only. And you cannot watch an 8-hour course back to back. But what you do, you split it. That okay, I will watch 1 hour today, 1 hour tomorrow, 1 hour day after tomorrow, and that's how you split. So similarly, what you do that you will take this document and you will split it into multiple parts. These parts are also called as chunks. Okay, so let's say this is called a chunk 1. Okay, and similarly, you will split these chunks into multiple layers. So multiple chunks you will create for this document. So for example, let us say you created 5 chunks out of the document. So chunk 2, chunk 3, chunk 4, and chunk 5. Now tell me this. Now what will happen that, oh, okay, you have created these chunks. So what do you, after this you do, you basically pass them through an embedding model and you convert them into vectors. So how many of you know what is vectors?
Mathematical representation of a token or a word or a broken part of that text.
This is a text only. A computer, we all know that computer only reads 1 and 0, right? So this cannot understand a text. So you have to convert into numerical representation of these numbers. Again, I have covered embeddings in very much detail. You can check one of my videos online on YouTube. But what will happen that through this, you'll pass it through an embedding model. So here you will use an embedding model. So let's say you will using an embedding model here. And then you will convert these into embeddings. Let's say you create an E1, E2, E3, E4, E5. Okay, this is what you will do. And after that, remember, you will be storing them in a special type of database, which is called a vector database. So this is called a vector database. I will show you how it looks like, but a vector database is basically something where you store vectors. Now, this is the first process. So for example, if you see this flow that I created here, this particular flow is that only where I'm reading a file from Google Drive. Okay, and I'm basically doing some parsing and all that, and I'm storing in a vector database. So this is the first part where you will take a document, parse it, and store in a vector database. Now comes the second question, that second flow where I was asking a question to the chatbot. So what will happen now that whenever user is going to ask a question, suppose what I do, I ask a question here. The first step will be that, remember, I cannot pass this whole information into it. What will I do? I have to find the most relevant content which is related to my question. So out of these 5, which 2, for example, let's say which 2 content are most similar to my question. So for this, what you do, you convert your question also in a question embedding. Okay, question embedding, and then you do a cosine similarity search. Again, what is cosine similarity? I'm not covering in this session. It's I've covered earlier, but so let's try to understand what is it. It means that you try to find similar sentences to this question through mathematical embeddings. So let us say out of these 3, these 2 are similar. Let's say you are picking top 2, for example. So you will say, okay, embedding 3 and embedding 4 are the closest one. Okay, then what will you do? You will get the chunks related to embedding 3 and embedding 4, and okay, these are the chunks. So finally, what will happen? This question will be there. Okay, question plus this chunk, whatever you have. sorry, let me create this. So this question will be there, and these chunks which you have created. So these chunks, for example, chunk 3 and chunk 4, you will pass to LLM. So you will take this, pass to an LLM, and say that, okay, this is my question, and this is the context from which you have to answer, and you will give to LLM, and that's how LLM will answer. Okay, so this is how the flow is going to be of any RAG. So this is called retrieval augmented generation. So retrieval, where we are selecting dynamic, where we are selecting matching values from this, right? Let's say top 2, top 5, whatever. This is called retrieval. Okay, so that is the R part. Augmentation means you are adding these two chunks to the original question. So it means augmented. And when you pass to LLM and you create an answer that says generation. So this is called retrieval augmented generation. Okay, so this is what we are going to, this flow is what we are going to create today. That the advantage of this is that, remember, these chunks are not fixed. Depending upon the user question, your chunks will come. So let's say I ask some question right now, next time some other question will come. So these chunks are dynamic, and that's how it will become a dynamic flow. And this is how eventually your search engines also work. When you type something in Google, right, or when you any search engine you do, if in the backend they work on this concept only, that they basically store embeddings of those particular information, and they give you those results when you search it. Okay, any question, anyone, before I move before I start the project now? Is this flow clear to everyone?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
move ahead.
we can move ahead, right? Okay, so what we are, guys, please try to participate. Like generally what happens that, just don't watch the session, please participate as well, ask question, however it is going to be. Okay, so what we are going to do now, there are multiple ways to do this. If you go to YouTube, I have conducted a lot of sessions on RAG earlier, but those all were coding based. This session is something purely non-coding based. So it is an ideal for example, let's say there is a project manager who does not know coding, there is a beginner who does not know coding, but he wants to understand how RAG works, right, or how an agent works. So this session is for especially for those people who are not into coding, because the moment coding comes, like whatever concept I explained, it works well, but the moment coding comes, a lot of people, like, they get scared, right? So, and if you're not a developer, you don't need to go into to coding, but you should know how can you create these particular workflows. So I'm going to use this particular software tool that is called NA10. Okay, it is a very advanced, a recent automation tool. So if you see that, it is a flexible AI workflow automation for technical teams. So what you can do, you can create a lot of things. For example, a question will come and tool will run, then you can post this message on Slack, you can do an email. So what we are going to do today is that whenever user is going to ask a question, we will answer him, and we will send an email automated dynamically that, okay, for example, just like this, you'll get an email that, user, we have successfully processed your question, dear user. I mean, I have not given any good format, that we can do later, but dear user, your question has been answered, thanks, something like this. And email also we will generate in the session. So this is going to be our flow, that will take documents, will store them in a vector database, and then as the user asks, we will basically generate and send an email once the question is answered. Okay, so this is NA10. You can explore. If you come here, there are a lot of templates as well. If you don't even need to like code anywhere, you can simply drag and drop. Everything is drag and drop, make some connections, and that's how you are going to move forward. So for example, if you see, there is a pulling data from services, joining different data sets, AI agent chat, and a lot of templates are there. Creating WhatsApp chatbot, doing search chatbot, a lot of things you can do. But so we are going to start everything from scratch. I'm going to teach you how to create a workflow from scratch. Okay, so let's do one thing. So for example, I will first of all sign into this. So let me log out. I will sign in from scratch. Okay, so I'll go and start a free trial, for example. I'm not sure if it will. So I will try to create, yeah. So I'm creating a brand new account here. Okay, so I'll get an email as well to verify. So I'll verify this. Okay, and here, for example, I will fill in the details. Then I will skip this. Okay, so this is a video by 𝗫𝗫 team as well, how to create. It's a 5-minute video, you can watch that. But anyways, we will start. I will teach you everything from scratch. So once you click this, your workflow will begin. It will open up a place for you. Yeah, this is how it is going to be. Now it has a premium plan as well. I'm going to use only the free plan. If you go here, check the premium plan, they have this where you can create a lot of additional things. $24, it starts from $24 a month, 60 and custom for companies. But I'm just going to walk you through this, the free tier, how to create basically using the free one. So yeah. Okay, so this is your work area. Okay, so for example, if you see here, this is your overview. Here you can create a project. This is admin panel template. There will be a lot of template which I showed you, right? They will be there. And then let me close all these things. So what we are going to do, we are going to start from scratch. We are going to create a workflow of our own. So this is from where we'll begin, create a workflow. Once we'll create, we will get a screen like this, which is a totally blank screen right now. And now here you can give it a name. For example, you can say RAG chatbot. Okay. So this is it. Now let's discuss what are we going to do exactly. So I'll break it into two parts. Remember, I told you, first part is where you will take a document and store in a vector database, and second part is where you can actually chat with it. Okay. So let's do the first part, where what we are going to do, we are going to take a document. So how I'm going to do to automate this process, that I'm going to connect my Google Drive. Okay, connect my Google Drive. Whenever I upload now, so now think like this. This is going to be an automated workflow. That whenever I'm going to upload any file in that particular drive, my software will automatically detect it, and it will automatically chunk it, store in the vector space. So what I have to do, that automatically it has to detect automatically detection it has to do of any new document I upload. For example, if you see right now there are three. The moment I upload any fourth document, it should automatically read it and basically store it in this vector database, which I will show you how it is being done. So yeah, let's close this. So the our first step is to set up our Google Drive, how we can set up our Google Drive. Okay, so let's do that. So what I have to do here, here I'll click at the right point. This is the open notes panel. So you will see a lot of options that trigger manually on app event, lot of things. So what you're going to do in the notes, you're going to type Google Drive. Okay, and you will see an option of Google Drive. And here you will be seeing two options: on changes to a specific file or on changes involving a specific folder. So in this particular scenario, I'm going to monitor a folder, and the moment any change to that folder happens, I will detect it. Okay, so I'll be selecting the second option on changes involving to the second to a folder. So now you will see you have to connect your Google Drive and all those things. So how we are going to do that? We need to have a GCP cloud first of all. If you know about GCP cloud, okay. If you don't have, you can create it right now as well. It gives you $300 free credit, and we don't even need that much. We hardly need we don't even need any dollar, to be honest. We just need to create it. So here, first of all, you need to connect your Google. So I'll click on this, create a new credential, and from there, what I have to do, I have to go to GCP. Okay, I'll click on GCP, and let's say I go through my email ID. So this is how Google Cloud is looking like. Now, remember, this is different from your Google Drive in regular. We are going to Google Cloud. Okay. So in Google Cloud, what I will do, first of all, I will click on console. Once I click on console, I will see a platform like this, from where I have to go and click to this folder, and I have to create a new project. Okay. So this is where I'm going to click. I'm going to click create a new project. I will say, for example, we can give it any name. I'll say my RAG chatbot. Okay, my RAG chatbot. I just gave it name. Organization, everything will remain same. It will take your email ID, so you don't need to change that. Create. Now, once you do that, your project is created. This is like a folder in your. For example, if you see now, these are all the folders that I have been working on. So I'll just select the folder that I just created, my RAG chatbot. So I am into this. Okay. Any doubt, anyone so far? Okay, let's move ahead. So after this, I'm going to click on this. And if you see, there is an option of API services. So I'll go there and click on the first option. And guys, please, if you're not able to follow, do practical with me live along, don't worry. Just follow what I'm doing. You can try after the session, because there can be difference between my speed and your speed. Okay. So you just try to understand conceptually. If conceptually you're facing any error, please ask me. Right. These steps are recorded. You can watch them as well. So enable API and services. You will enable this. Okay. And here you will click enable. So here you will search for Google Drive. Google Drive. Okay. You'll see this Google Drive API. Now, once you click on this, this API will open up. You have to enable Google Drive API. So you click on enable. Okay. When you click on enable, it will get enabled, and yes, it is done. Now what you have to do next is you have to go to this second last option, that is auth consent screen. Okay. So you will click on this, and you'll see nothing right now. You will have to create an auth. So basically what we are doing, let's try to understand what we're trying to do. We're trying to connect our Google Drive with NA10. And for that, we need to create some credentials. We need to create an API key. So these are those steps, and these steps remain fixed. Okay. So first step was created. Now we'll create this, and we can simply name this my RAG chatbot. Okay. User support email, by default it can be that. Next, here your audience, you can move it to external, and next, and email address, give this. Okay. Then agree, continue, create. Okay. So you have created, technically you have created a basically authentication. Now after this, you have to go to this audience, and you have to test users, and you have to provide your email ID once again, admin@datasenseai.co.in. Once you do this, you will save it, and now the last step, we'll go to clients. From here you will create a client. Okay. And then this particular client is a web application that we are creating. You can give it a name, my RAG chatbot. Okay. And here you need to add a URL. So this URL you will get from NA10. where we were creating this. So you see auth redirect URL. So you need to copy this URL and you will simply paste in your Google here. And once you're done with it, you will get credentials. You'll get API keys to connect to Google Drive. So you'll get a client ID. You will copy this. You will move here. You'll copy the client ID in this particular thing, and you will copy client secret in this particular thing here. And once you do this, it will once you do this, you have to click sign in with Google. Okay, so once I click on this, it will take me and I will register through Google and I will just allow it. And if you see connection, my connection got successful. Now I'll come back to this. It will show me that account was connected. So my Google Drive is now connected with my n8n workflow, which I did. Okay. So this was the first step. Now what I have to do is I'll go to my Google Drive. In Google Drive, what I'll do, I'll create a new folder first of all. Okay, I'll create a new folder, 𝗏 chatbot. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I have to track changes to this folder. So whenever a new file gets uploaded into this folder, I will set up it. So first of all, I'll upload a basic file. What I will do, I will upload this 𝗧𝗏𝗏 PDF, which is about the company. So this folder is there. Okay, now if I come to this, let's see. You have to trigger this work. So basically, you have to start this workflow whenever a user uploads a file. So you will say changes involving a specific folder, and you have to choose a folder. Now, right now it will not come because I've just loaded. So you will click on refresh list. And once I do this, there should be a folder, 𝗏𝗏 chatbot. So if I come down here, let's see, there will be this folder, 𝗏𝗏 chatbot. Okay. So I'll select this. And after this, you'll watch for, there are multiple options. There's a file created, file updated, folder created, and all these. So which option should I select? What do you think? To track whenever I create a new file.
Folder update.
Which one?
Folder update.
No,
folder update.
File created. So folder not. Whenever a file is created, we are inside the folder. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, we are not changing folder name or anything, but whenever we are adding a new file, so whenever a file is created in the folder, we will trigger the flow. Okay. So we did this, and now once it is done, we will click on this fetch test event, and it will show that yes, connection was successful. And if I go to the right here, you will see the file name which was there, which it read. It read the file from here. Let's come back. Yeah, it is here. This, see, original file name it read 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 which I just uploaded in my Google Drive. Okay. So this is it. This is my first flow, and when it shows green tick, it means your flow is executed. The first step is done. Okay. Any doubt, anyone in this? Okay, now what we're going to do, we are going to take this particular file, and we have to basically, now we don't have to manually keep this file. We have to dynamically take the file ID and file name, and we have to pass it to a download option. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click here, and now I have to basically search another thing, edit field. So what edit field is going to do, it is going to take this information. So we have to add a field. Now we'll call that as file_ID. Okay. And now, because we have to dynamically select, remember, what is our objective? That whenever a new file comes, we have to read it. So file ID should be dynamic or static. What do you think?
Dynamic.
Dynamic, right? So we do not have to provide an ID, but we have to provide a file ID variable. So if I come here, see guys, I know for a lot of you this will be new. Don't worry about it. Once, just try to understand the flow. Okay. Specific things, what I clicked, what exact things I typed, don't worry about that you can watch later on as well. But just try to understand how I'm creating the flow, how I'm connecting the LLM, and all those things I will do. Okay, so just focus on those parts. Whatever I'm clicking and all these things, don't worry much about it. That you can do as later as well. So here I will come. I have to take a file. So this is, so remember how this UI works is the left part. So basically what happens, let's say I'm creating this. I'm creating this particular part. The left part is something which it shows means the input coming from to this node, and right part shows the output that will be generated. So currently this is the information that is coming from the Google Drive. Okay, I have to read this information. I have to see where can I find the file ID. So I'll scroll it down, and it should be present here. So if you see this, this is file ID. Now I don't want to pass this value here. I want to pass this variable name. Okay, there are two things. I cannot because what will happen if I pass this? Tell me.
It will pass this. If let's say the second file come in, it won't take in because this is the static file.
Exactly. If I pass this, every time it will download same file only. I don't want that. I want to pass it dynamically. So I'll take this ID and I will pass here in value. Okay, and it will so it is taking json.id. So dynamically it will take value, and when you click on execute step, it will show you that okay, this is the file ID that it fetched. Okay, so this is what needs to be done. You have to dynamically take the ID, pass here, and then close it. So now if you see green is connected, it shows that your second thing is also done. Now third part, you have to take this file and you have to download it. So you have to again call Google Drive. You'll say Google Drive. Okay, in Google Drive you will see an option of downloading a file. So this is the fourth option, I think, download file. Now your connection remains same because we just connected our Google account, so you don't need to change that. File resource will be file download. Now comes file. You want to download a file, there are three options: from a list, from a URL, from an ID. What do you think I should do? Select here.
From ID.
From ID, right? Because we are dynamically getting an ID. So I'll call by an ID. Okay, and which ID should I pass? Remember, this is the file ID that I'm getting from previous flow. So I'll just move it and I will pass it here. Okay, and once I do, I execute this. You'll see in the right hand side, see this file is created to download. Now if I click on this download button, the file will automatically get downloaded. You see this, right? So this flow is created now where I'm reading a file from a folder from my Google Drive, adding something to fetching the file ID and downloading it. Okay, and this will become automated. Whenever a new file comes there, it will automatically read it. Is it good, everyone? Any doubt?
Question. May I know that means it take the files from, that means it's a user upload it and then we upload it and then it download into the vector database, eh?
Database, yeah.
Okay, got it.
So what again, you can create different type of setup. The setup I have created is whenever anyone uploads a file to this Google Drive, it will automatically store in a vector database. But you can create some other, let's say whenever someone emails you a file, whenever someone puts a file on a WhatsApp or a Slack, right? You can create a lot of conditions depending upon your use case. But this is one of the most common, that whenever you put anything on Drive, it should automatically read and download it.
Okay.
So this is it. Now comes the next part. What are we going to do? We are going to read the content of this file. So what we have done so far, we just downloaded the file, but we also get the text of the file. So there's a thing called extract from the file, and this is a PDF. So I'll select extract from PDF, and everything remains same. Just you click on execute step, you will see that this text came here. If I go this, see, this is the text of this particular document, the internal company document, Noventra Technologies, and all these details. If I show you, this is how this document looks like, internal company. So this is the exact text which was there, and we selected and downloaded it. Okay, so the text also has been extracted, which is done. Good, everyone? Any doubt? This is what we did here as well, if you see. Okay, now comes my next step, where I have to basically store this information in a vector database. Now there are a lot of vector databases available in market. I'm going to use Pinecone for this particular demo. but you can use other things as well. So what I will do, I'll go to this website Pinecone. Okay, so if you click on this, this is a very famous vector database, but there are a lot of which you can use. So simply log in here, and once you log in here, I've already created a database. I will delete it for now, okay, because I'll create everything from scratch. So delete this. Now what you have to do, you have to go to get started, and here you will see an option of create an index. Remember, what is in a SQL table we call a table. Similarly, in a vector database we call it index, right? So in table we call it SQL database, we call it a table. In vector database we call the same thing as index. So you click on begin setup. Now you have to give it a name. You can give it, for example, RAG. Okay, and from here you have to select which embedding model you want to choose. So I'm choosing this text embedding 3 small from by OpenAI. You can choose anyone, that's up to you. And rest, you don't need to change anything. Your cloud provider will be AWS, region will be Virginia, everything will same, and just create this index. Once you create this index, it will start initializing, and it will be created in a second. So if I come here, this is created now. Now the task is not yet done. The table, you can see index or table, it is empty right now. I have to store values into it. So okay, so what I'm going to do, first of all, here I'm going to add this Pinecone vector space. If I select this Pinecone vector store, okay, and it has multiple options. So I'm going to choose the second one. So first is get rank documents, add documents. I'm going to choose the second one, add documents to a vector store. Okay, so the first step that comes is you have to connect your Pinecone. Now you'll create a new credential and you have to get an API key. So I'll go to Pinecone. If you come here, you have to create an API key. Remember, I've created a lot of. So you click on this. You can say my RAG chatbot. You can give it any name. Okay, don't share these API keys with anyone, and simply copy it, and you will go here and you will paste it. And once you click save, N8N will automatically authenticate. If your ID is incorrect, it will say incorrect credential, but it will automatically validate. See, connection tested successfully. So it has automatically tested everything. Now insert mode, you have to insert documents. Now comes from where you are picking this document. So here, what is the name of my index which I created? This is the name of my index, right? RAG.
Yes.
Okay, so what I will do, I'll come here, I'll drop down. You see the RAG name started coming here. So it has automatically detected from my Pinecone that, okay, there is a index by name of RAG, and these things you will leave as it, don't need to change anything. And then you will create a Pinecone namespace. So here you can create multiple. So in a same index, you can create multiple batches. I will just give it a name. For example, for my scenario, it is company. Okay, so I'll just call it company. And what will happen, it will automatically create that. And once I execute this step for testing, okay, yeah. So right now it will not work because I have to connect other things as well. So now now I have to add 2 to 3 things. First of all, I need to add an embedding model, and I need to add a document store. So first of all, let's see, I have to add an embedding model. Now I'm going to use different models you can use. You can use Grok. If there is some free service, you can use that. I'm going to use OpenAI embedding right now. So I'll click on this. It gives you free credits, but the problem with free credits is that they don't work always. They have some restrictions. So right now I will just show you how to get an OpenAI key, and I will try to put it here. So first I'll click a new credential, and I have to put a API key here. So to get an API key from GPT, what I have to do, simply go to this website, openai.com, log in into API platform. Okay, so I'll log in with Google. If you come here, your profile and user API keys, so you can create a lot of API keys. See, I have created 3 already. You can create, so you can call it my RAG chatbot. Okay, and just create a secret key, copy this and put it to your NA10. Okay, just put it there. Rest all fields are optional. You can simply click on it. Connection tested successfully. So means it has been tested successfully. And remember, while creating Pinecone, I chose text embedding 3 small. There are multiple models, but I am using text embedding 3 small. It's up to you, whichever you want to choose. So I am right now choosing this. So this part is done, where I am selecting an embedding model. Now the next part is I have to select a document, basically document loader. So I will use a by default data loader, and you don't need to change anything. And after this, remember I told about chunking a document at the start. So now you have to give a chunking condition, that on what basis you want to split your document. So what I will do here, there's a text splitter option. Now there are 3 options. One is character text splitter, one is recursive, one is token splitter. So I'm going to choose the second one. There is difference between all 3. Again, I'm not going into detail. It will take a lot of time. But main thing is that character blindly splits based on the character lengths. Recursive checks where a paragraph is ending and also checks the length of your text. And token does based on some tokens that you do. So I'm going to do the recursive text splitter. The chunk size by default is 1000 characters. So after every 1000 character, it is going to split my document. So see, suppose let's say this is 1000 document, and then again this is 1000. So that's how it is going to do. And then there is an overlap. Generally, we keep it 10 to 15%. I will just keep it. So I'll keep it 50. So what is the meaning of chunk here? That suppose your chunk 1 that you created, it comes out to be this, right? Now your chunk 2 will start from here. What will happen if your chunk 2 starts from here? Is there any problem if chunk 2 starts from here?
I mean, when a user asks something, if the answer is between both the chunks, it might not correlate. So
exactly. If the user's question is for fact 3, now fact 3 will not be stored properly either in chunk 1, neither in chunk 2, right? Because it will be partially split. So what we do, that we start the second chunk from here. So there will be an overlap of few characters. So that's why we do an overlapping here. I've done 50. Okay. And that's it. You need to do. So yes, everything is created now. So our first workflow, where we have to take a document from a Google Drive, read the text, chunk it, embed in a vector database using a vector embedding model. It is done. Now what I will do, I will execute this workflow to see if everything is working smoothly. So what you have to notice here while I do this is that this particular thing is empty right now. But once I execute this workflow, you will see that these chunks will come here. Okay, so let me execute this. So see, it is running. So see, workflow executed success. Everything worked into green. 13 items means 13 chunks were created, and my whole workflow is executed. The first part is done, where it took this particular document, splitted it into parts, stored into vector database. Now let's come here. Now let's reload this. No, not even need to reload. See, everything has come here. All 13 chunks have come here. It will show you total 13 chunks have been created. Okay, and also a new namespace company is created. So this is the first part. Okay, tell me guys if everything is good. If you have any question, let me know please. If you understand the first part. This is the data ingestion pipeline basically.
Sorry, just now, can you show again how you, I want to see, let's say, how many chunks that have been created. Where do you go?
So see, if you see, this is the 13 chunks in the Pinecone. You'll see here, right? 13 chunks.
Yes.
And also, if you see, once you run this, it shows 13 items as output. It means that of this document, 13 items have come out of from this.
Okay.
Can you filter out the email using this model based on the
Sorry?
condition? Filter out the email based on the condition.
Condition as in? I didn't get.
So email, I'm receiving the email. So I want to filter some based on the condition, like
Yeah, those things you can do. I'll do once I'll create the whole project, then I will show you to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. This is the first part, the data ingestion pipeline. I just need few more minutes to show you the second part where I create the chatbot. Okay. So shall I move ahead?
Before that, sorry, one question. That means this so far you upload is the text PDF. Can I know that if the Pinecone can take in the video or any kind of picture, kind of graphic,
Pinecone does not take the video. For video, there are so for video you need to convert them into binary files, right? And you have
yes.
to store those chunks there. So Pinecone does not work that. There you have 𝗓𝗏 and other vector databases which can be used.
Oh, you mean other vector database? The process is the same. I want to
Process is same, but Pinecone will not be there.
Okay, got it.
So a lot of time you have to do multi-model RAG there where you have images, right? Let us say you have to read something from images. So what you do that here, we are creating embeddings. If you see how does embedding look like, let's come here. So let's click on this, edit. This is how the embedding, every text is there. So this is the text, okay?
Yes.
And of this text, embedding looks like this. There are like a lot of numbers, I think 1500 something numbers. 1536 dimensions are there. For images, things work differently. There you create taggings and numerical representations in pixel values in some other format. Okay. So images work separately, videos also work separately, but they all can be stored in separate databases.
Oh, okay.
What I am showing right now is for text.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Anyone, any question? We are done through 60-70% of the session. Just few more minutes remaining. I'm just walking you through
the embedding model used by you is paid. Can you give any free embedding model example?
Yeah, embedding free model is this one. BG embedding. BGE embedding model. This is free. But the problem is that it does not, this platform does not support that, right? You need to see. So like you will need to code, like you can download, you need to download from transformers, right? There from then you can use through your code.
Okay.
BG embedding model is very good. It's a very industry standard. So you can use this. And also Grok also provides, in Grok also, yeah, so Grok also has a model. I forgot its name actually. I need to see.
So there will be no problem while connecting to Pinecone vector database, whether I use Grok or...
No. That has no problem. You can use any model. Pinecone is not built for OpenAI only. Pinecone is built in general. Okay. You just need to change the model name.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone, any question? Okay. So let's do one thing. What I'm going to do right now, if you see this workflow is inactive. Remember, I showed you that I told you that when I will upload a new file, it should automatically read and embed it. Remember, we discussed this, right? So let's see if that actually happens or not. So for that, what you need to do, first of all, you need to activate this. This is inactive right now. You need to activate it. You click on this, and now this workflow is activated. Okay. Now what I will do, I'll go to my Google Drive. I will upload this incorrect PDF file. So I'll come here, new file upload, and let's say incorrect facts. So I uploaded this. Now what will happen? It will take a while. This workflow will begin. It has already begun. We won't be able to see that because I have not set up any condition to show, but give it like 10 to 20 seconds. You will see this record count increase from 13 to some, maybe, let's see how many numbers, I don't know, but it will increase from 13 automatically. I just uploaded a file. I did nothing else. Okay, so just let's refresh it. Give it a while. It will. Meanwhile, if you have any question, you can ask. It is working in the backend, converting those things into trading model. See, the record count increased to 29, right? I didn't do anything. I was just refreshing the page. So all I did was I uploaded a new file in the Google Drive. It automatically read that file and chunked it, embedded it, and stored in the vector database. Is it clear, guys? Anyone? Any question? You see, this is called automation, right? As a user, you will simply need to upload a file. That's it.
So, Satvik, one question. So, chunk means, is it compressing the file or?
Not compressing. What it is doing is that, let's say this is your file, right? Of 4 pages. So it will say, okay, this is your first chunk. Stored it. Then this is your second chunk. Stored it. Then this is your third chunk. It is not storing, not compressing. It is splitting your file, basically.
Okay. Got it. So based on the size, it will split into chunks, or
yeah. Remember, I put a condition here. If you see, I am doing based on 1000 characters. You can take this condition.
Got it. Thank you, Satyam.
No problem. Okay, let's move to the next flow where we have to create a chatbot now. That's a small flow only. It's not as big as this looks. So tell me, when you want to activate a chatbot, whenever user asks a question, right? So what you have to do, you have to trigger a new flow, create a new trigger, chat. So chat trigger you will create. So where is it? Yeah. This is it. Now, whenever a user asks anything, for example, open chat. Hi. Right now there will be no reply because I have not connected anything. Okay. So what I have to do, I have to connect this to what? So I have to connect this to an AI agent. An AI agent is something which will read the question. Then it will parallelly read the document, and then it will answer me. So what I have to do, I have to select an AI agent. Okay. And okay, so agent is created. Now in agent, there are 3 things. One is chat model. So what is the chat model you want to chat with it, right? So I'll click on this. I have to choose OpenAI chat model. I'll be using chatting with GPT-4o. So maybe I can select it. See, all the GPT models are coming here. I want to chat using GPT-4o, for example. Okay, you can choose any model. It's up to you. I'm just using GPT-4o. Where is GPT-4o? GPT-4. Okay, let it be GPT-4o mini, no problem. Okay, you just connected GPT-4o. So you selected the model here. So the first part was model. Second part is your memory. Memory means, so remember when we chat with ChatGPT, it remembers our conversation, right? It does not forget it. So there are advanced concepts of memory, but I'm not going there, where you store memory in a database and all those things, in a Postgres, in a Supabase database, but I'm not going there. So if I have to show you, there is, to store a memory, this is a database, Supabase. It is a very good option where you can store your memories, but I'm not going there right now. I'll simply select it, do a simple memory, and it will store your last 5 chats. So what it is going to do, that it will have in memory your last 5 questions, it will remember them. So if it has to ask something, if you ask something, it will retrieve from that and it will give you answer. Okay. So it's a very simple memory, not a very complex memory right now. That we will do some other time. Okay. Next comes, we have to connect our vector database that we created, right? So this particular thing that we created here, it is something we need to connect here. So what I'm going to do here, there's an option of Pinecone vector store. So Pinecone vector store, which you need to connect here. So now let's see. You need to add to basically a couple of things. First of all, your Pinecone API account which is connected, there are multiple options that you have to retrieve. You can insert documents. Right now, what we are doing, that based on user's question, I'm retrieving top 5 or top 6 chunks. So I'm selecting this particular part, retrieve documents. Okay. Then I can give it any name. I can call it knowledge base. It's up to you. Now you have to give it. Here comes your prompt. A little bit prompting you need to do. So what you will write down, that use, you'll say that use this tool for below scenarios. Okay, you will say that for first, what is this company name? 𝗕𝗏 Technology. So you'll say whenever a user asks a question about 𝗕𝗏 Technologies. Okay. Second, you can say whenever user asks about a factual information. And third, you will say whenever our third document is based on transformer. So I'll say whenever user asks a question on transformers or deep learning. Now this description is very important because LLM will basically read this and then only it will use this particular whatever options you assign here. Okay. Now you have to from Pinecone you have to choose. Remember the name was RAG. Now here you can vary how many chunks you want to retrieve. Generally 4 is a very good number, but it depends how you want to do. And then you come here, Pinecone namespace you can give. So the Pinecone namespace was company, which I set up. I will just write down that name here, company. Okay. Yeah. So this is created now. So yes, now our everything is created now. One more thing, I need to connect my embedding model here as well. So for example, let us say what happens. I ask a question right now. I ask that, let me ask a question. What is, tell me about 𝗕𝗏 Technologies. Right now, because I have not connected my model properly. So tell me about 𝗕𝗏 Technologies, right? So right now it will answer because GPT model is connected, but it will not answer from the document because document is not properly connected. So if I put this question, see, let's see what, yeah, I mean, basically because it is not connected, so it will throw an error. So first of all, I need to connect it only. Let's do an embedding model, OpenAI and text3, it is connected. Okay. So now if you see, this is how my flow is, that a user question will come. This is the model which will use to answer the question. It will store memory here and it will fetch embeddings from this particular documents which we created here. Okay. Now let's ask this question. Tell me about 𝗕𝗏 Technologies, right? Something like this. I'm zooming it for right now. So let's put this here. So see this green, you see how it is working green, right? It is basically reading all this. The model is answering the question right now. It is running. So see, it retrieved the answer for me. If you try to read this in the left hand side, 𝗕𝗏, it was found here, these things, right? These are the products, FlowMind, DocuFrame, LogicGrid. It is coming from here, whatever I created. Let's try to ask one more question to this. Let's say what is the work culture at Noventra? So for example, I ask, what is the work culture at Noventra Technologies? Okay, when I put enter, so it will read through it. See, wherever you see green, it means it is reading all that. Okay, and now it is running the model. It gives you this option. See, hybrid work model and all those things. It is answering from that particular document only. One last question I would like to check is, for example, let's say, what is the vision statement of the company? So I'll ask, what is the vision statement of the company? So I put enter here, and it will run and see, to simplify complexity through something. And this is exactly which was present here, to simplify enterprise complexity through intuitive AI powered solution. Okay, so this is it. Now what you see, I want to tell you one thing. If you see, when I ask a question, so wherever you see green, it means it is running that. Now remember, I told you I am putting a simple memory here. So suppose I ask the same question from it again. What is the vision statement of the company? Tell me, will it run the Pinecone now? So whatever a question comes here, model read the question, it checks in the memory first if it is present in the memory. If it is not present in the memory, it checks here. So if I'm going to ask the same question, it is not going to read the memory. It is not going to run the model from the backend again. So okay, it will show you like that is connected, but the answer it is getting from memory only. So that's how it works. Now the last part is creating an email. So before I show that, any doubt, anyone?
Satvik, can you repeat this once again? The one which you have repeated. Yes.
I said that how the flow works is that user will send a question from here. Okay, agent will, first of all, this model is the brain of the agent. Okay, this model is the brain. Now it will first check the question in memory. If the question is present in memory, let's say in the last couple of chats, because remember I set up last 5 messages, then it will answer from here. Otherwise, so then it will not move here, because it will reduce the cost, right? Because every time you do an embedding, it costs you money. Okay,
right.
If your answer is stored there, it will take up from there rather than going to this.
So it will fetch from the this DB only.
This simple memory, yes.
Right, got it.
Which later on we will be using a Postgres for like long-term storage, because what happens with this memory is that once you close this session, right? Let's say I refresh the page, all my memory will be lost. This is the temporary memory. So if you have to make that memory permanent, you have to store it in a SQL database.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Now just the last part of this session, that I have to add an email as well, that whenever this workflow is completed, answer is retrieved, I have to send an email. So what I will do, I'll click on this. I'll click Gmail. Okay, Gmail. Now let's see, there should be an option to send a message. There's an option to send a message. Okay, now I have to connect my credential basically. So okay, so I'll sign in to my Gmail ID. Okay, so it will set up the connection first of all. Now once your connection is done, you have to a message. You have to first is resource. What you have to do? You have to send a message, label, draft, or thread. I have to send a message. Operation is sent. Now to whom you have to send? You can create this. So I have an email ID, for example, let's say datascience.learning@gmail.com. Okay, this is my email ID. Now I have to put a subject in the email, the type label. I will say RAG chatbot ran successfully. Okay, this is the heading. And email type, I can give it as text or HTML. I'm giving it as text. And then you will say what exact message you want to display. So you will say your, chatbot responded successfully below is the answer. Now remember, I don't want to pass static answer. I want to pass whatever answer came in the last part. So instead of selecting fixed, what I can do is there is an option expression. I'll click on this expression, okay, and I'll do this. Your chatbot responded successfully below is the answer. Then I'll come down. Remember, this output variable is the answer, correct? So I can drag this output variable and I can keep it here. And after that, please review in case of discrepancy, reach out back to us. Regards, okay. Data science team, okay. Something like this I did. So this is the email, sample email that I've set up. If I execute, if I execute this step, okay, it will show me that your email successfully worked. So let's do one thing. I come here, I'll open my Gmail ID. See, this is the, yeah, this email just came. Your chatbot responded successfully below is the answer. And please review in case of discrepancy, please reach out back to us. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to my RAG chatbot. Everything is done now, connected. Everything is working. I'll just simply put items properly here. Okay, now I will be asking a question once again. So let's go here. Let's do one thing. Let's ask this question from the company document. For example, what are the core products of the company? Okay, tell me the 4 core products of the company. And what is the company name? I forgot actually. 𝗕𝗏 Technologies Private Limited. Okay, this. So what will happen? The moment I send this chatbot question to chatbot, it will run the question, it will reply the answer, and it will send an email as well automatically. Okay, so let's do this. I'll run this. It is running it. It executed everything. Okay, and message sent. Now let's come. I got an email. So see, it ran successfully. And it gave me, your chatbot responded successfully below is the answer. It has flow mind, docu-frame. And if you check with here, these are the document, flow mind, and all these exact things are coming here. Okay. And this is how work automation is done. And now you can add a lot of things, lot of features to it. It is not only Gmail. If you come here, let me show you. You can add WhatsApp message as well. Okay. You can add Slack message as well. Slack, Snowflake, AWS, like lot of things you can do. I mean, more and more integrations are getting added to it daily. So this is how it is. This is a very powerful tool. Remember, I didn't do any coding throughout the session. It's all plug in, play, just understand the flow and move forward. That's it. So this is about the session. I think I'm done with the session. Let me just show you one last thing, that what I'm going to do now, I'm going to upload the third PDF. We're just going to test everything once again as last. I'm going to upload the third PDF. I will see right now I have 29 records. It should increase from 29. And then I want to ask the question from that chat, from that PDF. Okay. After that session is over, feel free to ask any question. Otherwise you can drop off. So let me just upload the third document. This is it, the attention PDF. Okay. I just uploaded this PDF. Now this is a long PDF. If you see 2.1 MB, so it can take some time, approximately 30 seconds and all that. So I just uploaded it. This workflow will be running here. Let me meanwhile just set it up properly. Okay. You can add AI agent, MCP servers, lot of things to this. So for example, if I show you, it is integrated with MCP cloud. Lot of things are there. And right now, I think it provides approximately 400 integrations. So they are very good. Slack information, Slack, WhatsApp, email notification, creating a calendar invite, everything it can do. So you can just put it active and just leave it. And it's a very powerful tool. Let's reload it. There were 20. See, now there are 94 counts. It automatically read and done the things. And now let me ask the question from this document. For example, what is scalar dot product attention? Let me ask this question. So to chatbot. So I'll come here. I'll ask what is scalar dot product attention, something like this. I will ask. Okay, it will read through the model, through the everything, and once it has generated me the answer. Okay, see, is a key mechanism. Again, I'll have to zoom in to show you guys. So it is a key mechanism used in blah blah blah, whatever answer is, but it is getting from there. And now let's check my email as well. Did I get a new email? Yes, I got an email. Your chatbot responded. The below is the answer. Scaled attention, and it will give everything from the documentation and how that's how it is done. So this is a complete automation which I was talking about. It's not only AI. There are a lot of things, connectivity that you learn from this. But yeah, it's a no coding tool which you can use very efficiently. You don't need to have a coding environment. Just having some knowledge how things work is more than enough. So that's it from my end today, guys. Thanks a lot for attending the session. Hope you guys learned something. Please feel free to ask question, and I'll come up with another session next week. But yeah, meanwhile, you can join our group. You can text me after session. I will add you to the groups.
I had one question.
Yeah.
So at the starting, I guess you asked some question from the second document, right? The facts related.
Yeah.
So as far as I remember, it gave the information from the document, but also it told that this might be incorrect also. So
yes.
Does that mean that LLM will come in between and do the fact assessment?
No, so I didn't do that setting. So you can remove. So just by passing a prompt, you can control that. You can say that strictly answer from the document. Even if answer does not feel right to you, reply that. Okay.
Okay.
That part you can control.
Internally it did, right? I mean, without any, I mean, as we haven't given anything related to that, so it took the information from the document, but it also compared with the.
It also compared with its own knowledge, right? Because I didn't set up any manual prompt in the backend. But if you do that prompt in the backend, then it can be improved.
Okay.
So what it does, it extracts information, but then it applies its own brain as well. So if you want it to stop its brain, just answer whatever it has got, you have to give a prompt. Okay. So yeah.
Can we deploy these RAG agents into website?
Yeah,
Suppose
you
a shopping
can,
site.
this first of all, this is a deployed only. If you see, like end-to-end, it is deployed. N8N provides deployment in its own cloud. It provides deployment in Azure cloud as well. That's what I know. Rest I need to check. So see, when you click on active, it means it's a deployed thing. Okay. Whenever you create, so you have, whenever your trigger moment happens, like uploading a file or whatever, it will automatically run everything. And then you can deploy this chatbot anywhere you want. You can create an API from this and you can deploy it anywhere.
Okay.
Okay. Hope you guys learned something today, right? And please send me a message. I will add you to WhatsApp group if you want. Recording I will provide. Yes. Yeah, please DM me after the class. Just WhatsApp me. I will add you to the WhatsApp group. Thank you guys. If you don't have any question, please feel free to drop off. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm closing the session. Thanks again, everyone.